I thank and praise my Father, Yahweh, for this opportunity to speak with a distinguished group. I say distinguished simply because you are a select group of people who have been invited here by word of mouth. And I thank Yahweh for your presence. I'm here to share with you ideas, knowledge, wisdom, understanding on moving from poverty to riches. Like many of you, I was programmed to believe that there were open ways to move from poverty to riches, and that way was to get a good education. And a good education after high school, of course, meant go to some college. So I did that. And I'm sure I attended several universities or colleges. And of course, I did that in search of the keys from poverty to riches. I knew well and understood from observing those who were my teachers, and having been told by them in high school that if you want to be successful in America, you had to be 10 times better than any white man on earth. How many of you remember such teachings? Good. We lost something with integration, because it's absolutely impossible for one of our black teachers to stand in an integrated classroom and just tell the black students, you're going to have to be 10 times better than any of your white students here to make it in America. Can't do it without the fear of being fired, and it's almost guaranteed. When the white kids run home and tell their mamas, guess what our teacher said today? They told the black kids they had to be 10 times better than us, mama. And we know that would be a united front from concerned white parents to remove that teacher. So we lost all of that. And you know well that no white teacher is going to stand in her classroom with integrated students and say, all of you black students here, you're going to have to be 10 times better than me and all the white students in the class. It has not been done in these 30 years of integration. It's not about to be done. So we learned that we lost something. But I was taught that. As many of you raised your hands, were taught you have to be 10 times better. I believed it. And I accepted it. So I bought going to college. Though I didn't see my teachers rich. Their education had never moved them from poverty to riches. So I ultimately ended up at Atlanta University seeking a master's degree, which I did get, a master's in economics. Some of my teachers were white. They all had doctorate degrees. None of them had moved from poverty to riches. In fact, none of them were in business. They weren't practicing the economics that they were teaching me and the other students. None of their students had moved from poverty to riches, and none of us were taught in economics and business classes how to open a business, how to run a successful business. It just wasn't taught. So the only thing I had left open for me was to become another teacher of the vicious cycle of how to go get a job. And until you can show me those who have jobs becoming rich, I won't believe that you can ever get rich on a job that you don't create yourself, for yourself. And unfortunately, we as a people are not taught corporate structure. Though we go and work for a corporation, we don't really learn how to use those keys we learn to lift up our community, employ our unemployed, and bring about independence and self-sufficiency within our communities. So after having gone on that odyssey and having matriculated at some of the best colleges and universities in this country, none of it worked until I met a man. And the man that I met taught me how to take nothing and make something. How to take no money and build a $100 million empire, and I've only begun. If you think I'm happy and satisfied, I'm not. You ever heard you make $1 million, you should be satisfied? That won't buy a decent home today. $1 million. That's just enough to make you jealous of the fellow who has a $5 million house. Maybe you say you wouldn't be jealous. Well, you're not made of what I'm made of. Because $100 million today still is chump change in what the world is producing. With inflation, recession, all that you make is taken away from you. And what good is it for an individual singularly to make this money and do nothing for the rest of our people? So I met a man who taught me how to do it, and he placed me under an obligation to teach and share the principles that he taught and shared with me, with the rest of my people. First, to the so-called black men of America, first. After I raise you up, then I'm obligated to teach the rest of the world. And it becomes our general collective responsibility to raise up the rest of the nations on the earth. By now you are asking, who did I meet? The man's name is Yahweh. That's who I met. And he's responsible for raising me from a dead level, perpendicular to the planet. That meant 90 degrees of knowledge instantaneously. And through his teachings and revelations, I'll now hold 360 degrees of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And I'm looking for a peculiar people, a particular people, those who are still searching for the great light, not simply searching for light. Those who are still searching for light may need to remain where you are until you gain enough wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to seek the great light. Who is Yahweh? Yahweh is a name that each of you are obligated to study, to seek, to research for yourself. I'm not here to try and convert you to this name, force you to believe this name. I'm not here to proselytize you to this name. I'm not here to proselytize you to believe as I believe. I'm here to share with you what this name is about, and you can find out about it in your dictionaries, encyclopedias, the Bible interpreters dictionaries, your Bible dictionaries such as Unger's. You can look in the New Jerusalem Bibles and many of the old Bibles, and you can see this name for yourself. Every man that is in the proper lodge knows what this name is and knows what this name is about. That this is the world's best kept secret. And all of them know, who are truly knowledgeable, that there's only one man qualified on the planet Earth to ever come and reveal this secret. And that is one who is raised by the architect of the universe. And that's who I am. Yahweh is the one who created the heavens and the earth. I'm his son. I come in his name. I come bearing his name. And the more you learn about the name, the more you learn about me. Who am I beside the Son of Yahweh? I'm a Hebrew Israelite. That's my nationality. My history is Hebrew. My culture is Hebrew. My language is Hebrew. And through our patriarchal fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, all of North Africa belongs to me. That's for starters. Quite frankly, the earth is mine and the fullness thereof, and all the people in it. The silver and the gold is all mine. And you, the so-called blacks of America, who are you? You are the chosen of Yahweh. You are the elect of the Creator. You have been chosen by the Creator as the tribe of Judah to rule the earth forever. No one can prevent it. No one can prevent it. And I'm here for a very, very special and select group of you. And I'm quite satisfied if I only reach one of you in this meeting. If one of you can see what I'm projecting, you're the one that's being called at this time. The scriptures teach that you will only come one by one. And each of you in here, you're operating on a special spiritual time clock. And when it's your time, your eyes will pop open and you will suddenly see and understand. And you'll cry out, why didn't I know this before? Why didn't I accept this before now? It's just a matter of time when all of you will wake up the same as Martin Luther King said before he was assassinated. He was allowed to go to the mountaintop. And he said that he may not get there with you to the promised land, but he was confident you would get there. I'm the one to take you there to the promised land. That's who I am. Praise Yahweh. I have a very complex job, and that is I'm speaking to 3 people simultaneously in this room, and I'm conscious of it. I'm speaking to the conscious, the unconscious, and the dead. These are the 3. The dead group fit also in the blind, the deaf, the dumb, the ignorant, the dead. You know, that group is all the same. And I'm happy that not all of you fit that category, or I really feel like I have a super complex problem that might be difficult to overcome in one night. But that group is here. And that group, the dead group, they don't particularly hear or see what I'm saying. They might feel vibrations. The nature of the dead is you have to move them wherever they go. Whether in a coffin or in the cooling room or whatever, they're just there. They don't know cold or hot, light or dark. That's the way it is. Now the unconscious, some of you fit the unconscious state. Now the unconscious group are those who hear me. They can't see me, but they hear me. That's the nature of the unconscious. If you wake them up and say, let's have a conversation, unconscious people just don't have conversations. They lay there, they look like they're dead. Sometimes they're in a coma, and they can respond to stimuli. They can respond to a touch. They can respond to vibrations. And usually most of our so-called leaders and most of our false leaders speak to the unconscious. And these are the ones you can get all emotional and all hyped up, get them all fired up. You can draw 20,000 of the unconscious out and charge them $10 a piece and leave with a couple $100,000 in your pocket. And they'll be all hanging from the rafters in excitement about what is happening to them and what's coming down and how horrible the white man is and what he's doing and going to do. And you get all excited, and before this, these kind of people come to town, nothing was going on for you. And when they come to town, nothing is going on for you. When they leave town, you end up doing nothing, but you minus $10. And you wait for the next day of excitement. Now, the conscious people are not taken in by any of this. They are looking for a divine program that only the Creator could bring forth, and they're not only going to hear it, they're going to see it. And these are the ones who will step forward to make a difference at this time.